is here. The champ 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 is here.
Welcome to State Champions Podcast, where it is always a celebration. It is Super Sunday in America, and State Champions Podcast, we back in the basement. We know we haven't been here for a while, but hey, my man to the left, he been busy. So have I. This is your first time tuning into State Champions Podcast. You are always in for a treat. We discuss people, politics, community, and culture. And of course, on a Super Sunday, we must discuss the Super Bowl, the NFL, your favorite food to eat, your favorite Super Bowl moment, maybe even your favorite memory, your favorite quarterback. And I think I know who G's is. But we're going to talk about it, but make sure you call a friend, tell a friend, let them know we on. Y'all can call in. I think you can call in 313-458-4445 or get in the live chat with us and make sure you have some great questions for us because we're going to talk about a lot of things and we're going to intertwine a lot of things that's going on with sports because that's what we do. Again, I'm your co-captain, Raphael Peterson. To my left and to your right is none other than George T. Ward Jr., the head coach at the King Crusaders. They are in the thick of the playoffs. Everything been going well for them. G, how you doing, boy?
Good, man. Good. Super Sunday. Looks beautiful outside. It's cold, but it's wintertime. It's February. So Super Sunday, man. Looking forward to it. Glad to be back in the basement, man. So we're going to kick it. We're going to edutain. We're going to do what we do, and we understand the whole gamut. But today, Super Bowl, got a lot of things going on in the world, and we're going to get to that. But the Super Bowl Sunday, man, I'm wondering who you got.
Oh, man, we're going to get to all that, G, because everybody want to know what Parlay Pete doing and all those great things. Man, I just think it's just good to be back in the basement and to get a chance to, like you said, edutain.
Yeah.
That's your word, edutain the people and give them some real insight. And I'm still trying to figure out, you said it before, we should be over 40, 50 to 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But in America, I don't know if they really want the right positive energy, sort of like the things you do when I check you out on Facebook and you're talking about the families that are in the gymnasium because you're there all the time. Just different things that you're seeing. People want to hear the negativity, but they don't want to hear the positivity and more importantly, the solutions. Yeah. So, G, let's wrap. Let's start about this since it's local. Playoffs are here. Y'all had the first round. What is the schedule for next week for all the people in the city of Detroit who may be interested in going to a game? I was looking at the DPS page and I couldn't find the schedule. Really? I know they posted it last week, but I couldn't find it this weekend.
I'll get it to you so we can post it.
Yeah, I was just trying to find it. But go ahead. What's going on?
Tuesday night.
Quarterfinals.
It's going to be a great thing. Talk to Jay Alexander, Anika McEvans, Erica Bray, Roy Steed. They've done a great job, Jamal Hardy, and obviously finding in line. But I think the biggest thing is the parity. Everybody talks about the parity in the PSL now. And when you look at, some of the surrounding leagues, the charter schools are doing well, Catholic schools, but the PSL is the PSL. And most of our roots are PSL, some of the older people. So Tuesday night, there'll be some games at 5:30, and there'll be others at 7 o'clock. The one thing that I do know is Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School boys basketball will play at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And I think the greatest thing, too, is, everybody didn't agree and didn't want to have the girls playing at the same time. I think the one positive of this is the girls are playing simultaneously right now. So you're looking at the girls' playoffs. Monday, they'll be going. So, you kind of look it up, and we'll post it at some point in time during this broadcast. But all the playoffs are going right now. Quarterfinals for the girls tomorrow, quarterfinals for the boys on Tuesday. Friday night, Friday night, the semis. You got some wonderful teams doing well. And I think in the big scheme of things, you know, you got Detroit Central, you got Detroit Frederick Douglass, you got the guys over on Grand River, you got Renaissance, a young and up-and-coming team, talented as ever. So you got some teams, Denby, that can make some noise, Pershing, in the state playoffs. And I think the one thing that's unique for us now, obviously when we played, there wasn't a Division II, or as we would call it back then, a Class B school in the city.
Yes.
Everybody was vying for the same thing, and we knocked each other out. The way everything is done now with population decrease, you got a lot of schools playing in Division II, III, and IV.
Okay.
So we have an opportunity to be represented, man. So it'll be a good week for basketball, and then Sunday evening we'll cap it off at Wayne State University for the city championship.
So let's not mess around. So is it, I'm saying this is not a public service announcement from the King Crusaders, or George Ward, or his team, or his coaches. But based upon what I've seen in the PSL this year, it's a foregone conclusion. I need the day of the championship game so I can mark it on my calendar, because I'm not coming to no semis, I'm not coming to none of it.
Okay.
I'm only coming to the finals.
5 p.m. Sunday.
It's going to be on Sunday. Oh, that's
Sunday.
That's next Sunday.
Wayne State University.
Oh, that's man, even better.
Yeah, they've done a great job, man.
So it's a foregone conclusion that the King Crusaders, it's theirs to win it, and it's actually, I would say it in the reverse, it's theirs to lose.
Yeah, you go.
Because I'm looking at the teams, and that it's not a knock on any other teams, but I'm looking at what you're doing on a consistent basis. I was talking to Coach Kelso just the other day.
Wow.
And he called and he asked me, so what's going on with Georgia's team? I said, Coach, I just saw Georgia's team the other night. And one thing that Georgia's team has traditionally, and it continues this season, been able to do is defend. And when you were out of town checking out your son, nephew, Jaleel, out there in Texas, I went to the Persian game.
Yes, you did.
And I watched first quarter.
Yeah.
Second quarter. And that first quarter, of course, Persian kept keeping it close. Second quarter, same thing. But I can see the defense wearing on Persian.
Amazing.
And when I'm talking about that third quarter came, and then you can just see that the King Crusaders had imposed their will on the Doughboys. And I want to say this too, because what I saw, because I was worried. I was worried what was going to happen, but I should have known, G, that the coaches, the players, everybody was in the same line as if you were there.
Yep.
And that's a testament to Brother Carlos, and obviously everybody's over there, but I know he's
George Peterson, your son.
Yeah, of course. He's coming, he's in there learning, but I really want to give them their flowers because they did a great job. It was just like you were there.
No question.
It was just like you were there. So it was a great, some kids had some mess ups, but that's possible.
Yeah.
That happens when you're there. But I just love to see that, and what you're doing is great. And it's just hopeful that you can make a long state tournament run and end up down there in Lansing and get that win, because you guys have a good enough team to do exactly that. And I just want to give you those kudos. So anyway, it's Super Sunday, G.
Yeah.
Super Sunday.
Man.
It's a lot going on. G, let's do this. On Super Sunday.
Super Sunday.
Super Bowl in America. What do you, in terms of food, are you attending any Super Bowl parties today?
Well, I was thinking about going down to the building, as we like to call it.
Urban.
Urban Fates, man. My guy, Double A Dub, man. If y'all need to get somewhere, pull up down on Ford Street. Y'all know where it is.
I see we should have had the flyer up. But
you know what? I'm about to send it to you because I got it. I'm gonna send it.
Okay,
post
send
it,
it
man.
to me real quick.
Go check out Urban Fates, man. He doing a great job, man. Just a wonderful family, hell of a dude, my brother. So he doing something over there.
Talk more about the facility, because it's funny, because I looked at that online just the other day, and I was looking for something, but I didn't see anything because I wanted to have, some publicity for our guys, and we have to do a better job at giving promoting our, particularly, G, our Black brothers giving them their flowers when they're doing positive things in the community, because we see so much negativity that goes on that we forget to do that. And the negative mantra becomes the norm. So,
Yes.
but anyway, the building, tell me more about what time does that kick off? Let everybody know what time that kicks off over there.
Man, the doors will open. I believe we're looking at 5 o'clock. Game is at 6:30. You know, AA Dub, man, Urban Fates, man, the Waldron family, they do a great job. It's such a clean facility. You can go in there and smoke your cigars, have some drinks. He's gonna have plenty of food there. I believe it's $30 a pop to get in, but he's got screens all over the place. I mean, he's got a screen that covers up the entire walls. It's a movie theater projector. The games are on, much clarity, a wonderful kitchen, clean, and it's in a great location on 4th Street, right down there in Southwest Detroit. You're looking at the Boulevard and 4th Street, man.
So they're down there. Are they close to where they're building the new soccer stadium?
Right in that area.
Wow. Okay.
Right in that area.
Nice.
I think that's Riverside Park down there, back over there. A hidden gem. And what they've done over there has been amazing, man. And the people, the owners, have really loved what they're doing. And it's adult love. That's the thing that you got to look at. It's adult love. No, we haven't even seen a large argument in that facility. So they're doing some things over there. And you know, ultimately, I may be home today, and I know my oldest child will be there with his family. So we're gonna have a good time. Yeah. Because so it's playoff time.
Yeah, no, actually, you know, this is the biggest game of the year, Super Sunday.
Yeah, Super Sunday.
We're doing what we do live in the basement. Make sure y'all call a friend, tell a friend. Come on, chime in. I see a comment. What's up, brother? Sincere in the building. I know he may be going to a great party, maybe throwing his own party. But if we're talking about with the festivities, what do you like in terms of favorite foods?
Wow.
For Super Sunday, what would you want it to be if you had your choice of the menu and you was planning it out? Because we know you're not doing much cooking unless it's those one bones. But
there you man, I always got to throw some slick stuff in. You know what? The Rotel dip is classic.
Yep.
You can't go wrong, especially if somebody know what they're doing. You know, I know Evil Knievel, I think Latoria is talking about she's gonna do some Rotel dip, some nachos or something.
Okay.
You know, it's probably gonna be a little fish somewhere, some chicken. You know, you really can't go wrong. You know, I really love the sliders on, you know, you don't want a big sandwich like that. I love the sliders on Super Bowl Sunday, and you know, you probably start eating about 4 or 5 o'clock and the game will be over about 10 something. So you're gonna kind of nibble a little bit. You're gonna bend your elbow a little bit, but I think that the nachos, little pizza or something, some chicken, you can't go wrong. And you got to have some green in you. So the broccoli salad is always a favorite of mine too.
Broccoli salad. Okay. For me, even though I had to change my eating habits.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But always chicken is always good.
Yeah.
The chicken with the ranch and you having the dip. So whether it's fried, I'm changing that. I have to do some baked chicken.
Yeah.
The baked chicken wings and dip them and still the same. But I also like the sliders G. That's always a great contrast to just the plain chicken. But any type of dip that's pretty
and
good.
You ain't do the corned beef. You know, one time I remember, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know Sue's probably like, man, don't tell that dude that. Man, I remember one time, I know nephew remember, and we did you did the corned beef sandwiches.
Oh yeah, the corned beef.
Now listen, you smoked the joints.
Yes, sir.
I said, man, I'm gonna tell him before I die out of here, man. So man, them joints are so cold. I really was thinking like today, like, man, don't be.
I didn't even get no meat to cook, but I should have. It would have been a great day.
Yeah.
Just to have a few friends over to celebrate the Super Sunday like it always is. It's always big. So let's get to the game, G.
Let's get to the game.
Because during the game, you know it's going to be a lot of different commercials, and they say it's some great ones out there.
Yeah.
And they say it's a couple of people that's promoting AI, and I think it's the white liquor, Shvetka. I think that's who it is. I think it's
Shvetka?
Yeah.
Really?
They have a commercial that's out, and they're dealing with the robots. And so they're trying to say that they're the drink of the future. So it's going to be interesting to see the great commercials. We've always had great commercials, but then sometimes the commercials, you can't understand them. And you say, what were they marketing? What were they? You don't know what the
you can't even tell.
So anyway, we're talking today's game.
Yep.
you have New England Patriots and the Seattle Supers. I was gonna say the
Supersonics. Damn.
Supersonics.
Downtown
Seattle.
Freddie Brown.
Yeah, all them Seattle Seahawks. You're talking about two young quarterbacks. Well, actually, the other one's not young. They're veterans, been around a while. Do you think he can rewrite the ship, get the monkey off his back, given the situation that he's been when he was with the Jets, and we know the stellar season he had last year when he was in
Minnesota.
Yeah. Now he's out in Seattle. Everybody said, wait.
Can't win the big one.
He can't win the big one.
Yep.
The spread today is Seattle minus 4.5.
4.5. It hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed.
That's rare.
It
has stayed consistent for the last 2 weeks.
And the over and under is 45.5. But then on the other side, you have the young fella.
Drake May.
Gee, you're looking at the guy. He's a young guy. He's turned the ball over a lot in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have lost a couple games, but they didn't. Yeah. Now they're head-to-head, biggest game of the year.
Yes.
Who you taking?
Seattle. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I believe Darnold really right now, this kind of sounds crazy. I believe Darnold is really playing with house money, and I'm going to tell you why. He got his team to the bowl game. And so when people say, well, he can't win a big one, well, I think that's really crucial and critical because you get to the bowl game, you don't want a big one. Mm-hmm. You didn't win the ultimate prize, but you've had to win some big ones to get there. So I think for Sam Darnold, he's been throwing this ball well. His offense is very well balanced. I think that's the one thing that I look right now is when I watch Seattle, the defense. You remember the Legion of Doom?
Yes, sir.
That they had. Their secondary was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Bobby Wagner and middle linebacker and those guys, they had it was just unbelievable. But I'm watching them right now, the way they move to the football, the way they tackle, the way they play together. It is almost, they play with an enthusiasm, almost as if they're in college right now, almost as if they're not getting a check unless they win. Obviously, New England's doing well. Vrabel has done a great job. The Patriot way, he has brought back the culture and made sure everybody understands that. But I think Seattle today, I'm taking that minus 4.5. And I'm going to tell you this, and you got your own segment on that. I tell you what, it's going over 45.5. And I think by the middle of the third quarter, they can cha-ching me because I'm going to take the over for quite a bit of cash.
Okay. So, all right. It's not going to be actually a segment. It's just going to be my pick.
Okay.
Because we gonna keep moving.
Okay.
For me, G, looking at the scenario, what I've noticed all week, they're talking about Seattle and Sam Darnold. Yeah. They're not giving much play about the New England Patriots. Just a little bit, but it's almost like they're trying to hand Sam Darnold.
Oh, they're trying to bait you into something.
They're trying to
or as Pops would say, fattening what?
Fattening a frog for the snake. And so, G, what I'm telling you, I believe you can take New England with the points for sure. I don't believe it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Oh.
I don't believe it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
And the young fella, Drake May, is going to be protected because you have two seasoned coaches who have played the game, but more importantly, they won in Super Bowls.
Yes, they have.
But now they can coach it, and they know what it takes is going to be something in the game, a little nuance, a decision is going to have to be made. And I think that Vrabel and my man Josh will be the key to it. We know that the offensive line of the New England Patriots is pretty weak.
Yeah.
But I believe you're going to see Drake May get this ball out of his hands quickly.
Yes.
And they're going to make them pay. You're going to have situations where I believe that Drake May is going to make some plays. I don't think the game will be as close as everybody thinks. New England will probably win this game outright.
Wow.
They may win by 7 to 10 points.
Talk it.
And that's only if it's a late score, because I think that Sam Darnold has not thrown 8 interceptions this season. I mean, in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. He's going to throw one today, is what you're saying.
You mentioned this, the Patriot way.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing about the New England Patriots, the receiver, Jackson, they're going to take him out of the game.
Okay.
And 1 and the 2 receiver, and they're going to force the second, the third guy to win the game. I'm not so sure
he can do it.
that they can do it.
Okay.
So which means when they do that, it will not be big plays, which is an indication that this game is going to go under. And this game is going to be tight. And to your point, the way Seattle has been playing, and they playing like it's a college game.
Yeah.
But one thing about it, they not playing with house money. This Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, no, I know.
Super Bowl, baby. You have to come, and when it does not go your way, I believe they may fall. I don't know if they're going to handle it so tough the right way, but I believe that the New England culture will come out and it will show today in today's game. It's going to be a great game. I'm just thinking about that, and that's where I'm going with that in terms of that, G.
I'm looking forward to it, Rav. And you look at it, it's one of the games that I'm literally looking forward to watching.
Okay.
And as you know, you were always an Elway guy, then you were a Brady guy through and through. So you always been right there. And I was a Mahomes guy. I mean, and still that's my guy. But I love the fact that not having a dog in this race, but I love the way each team is playing. And being a coach, being a former player and things like that, I love to see certain things. And I love the way each team is coached. I love fundamentally each team can run the football. I love the fact that each team really values each possession. They're not just willy-nilly. And I think this is something, and we're sitting here obviously in the heart of Detroit. I think this is something that Dan Gamble, I would love for him to sit and watch this game and really watch the playoffs and say, you know what? We have as much talent as any of these guys, and it's a reason we're not here. He's got to say to himself, you know what? I have to get more fundamentally sound, because if not, we'll never get here. And the window is closing. I want the people of Detroit to understand the window is closing. So I believe New England and Seattle have represented the AFC and the NFC very well. But I really believe I'm looking forward to seeing this football game today.
Gee, I want to piggyback on something you just said. I'm glad you brought up the Detroit Lions. Okay.
Oh, man.
And Dan Gamble.
Dan Gamble.
You said that the window is closing. I'm telling you, people, Detroit Lions fans, you know who I'm talking to out there.
Yeah, I know
all of you fans.
Yeah.
The window is not closing, it is closed.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you
don't
right
say it,
now.
James. Don't say it, James.
Because I had this debate with a few people, and they said, well, the schedule next year is going to be favorable to the Lions. And I'm not disputing that. But you have to remember that all the teams that the Lions will be playing, those playoff teams, we talking about in the division, they will be better. They will be better.
Yeah.
And so it's other teams out there that they will be better and they will be adding to their teams.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you this. The window is closed, and I said this before, and I should have brought the clip up. If the Lions want a chance to win, Dan Campbell must be taken off the top of the coaching poll, because he is not the guy, in my opinion. Now, my opinion only matters down here in the basement. It don't really matter down here then. But I'm telling you what I'm saying, because you said you wonder if he's watching the game. I can tell you Dan Campbell ain't watching the game. Dan Campbell too cool, man. Dan Campbell probably not watching the game.
He gonna watch the game. He might be watching the podcast. He gonna watch the game.
But I'm not so sure that he's going to learn. I think that one is close. But let me ask you this. So we're going to move right along.
Yeah.
And now, of course, we're talking about the NFL in itself.
Yes.
The overall NFL.
Yeah.
It's Super Sunday. They lock Sunday
down.
Oh, no.
This is Sunday belongs to the NFL. Let's get this understood. When you think of Sunday, you think of church. In the black community, well, it used to be you thought of church. Now it is all football. When we were growing up, you thought of church, you thought of football. Period.
I remember it was the movie, it was dealing with the concussions.
Yep.
and I can't. I can't.
No, exactly what you're talking about.
I remember the guy.
Great movie too.
He said, "You're going up against an entity that has taken a day away from the church."
Man,
that is powerful. Well, the NFL, I'm not so sure. A lot of people has heard this because they keep it under wraps. We come into the halftime show and you have none other than Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is coming to the stage, and I'm hearing that Bad Bunny will be wearing some form of some dress. This is what I'm hearing. I'm not so sure, but this is what I mean. Those are some speculations about a couple of his outfit changes. You know how they have multiple outfits. But more important than that, there has been a movement from another side. Have you heard this, G, that they have an alternate Super Bowl halftime show?
What do you mean?
There's going to be an alternate Super Bowl halftime show. I think it's going to be on another network, maybe Prime, something, whatever it is. Don't quote me on that. But it's headlined with none other than the brother from here, Kid Rock. And it's a halftime show that they're billing as a family-oriented halftime show versus what the NFL is doing with their halftime show, because they're saying this is anti-establishment, and we'll get to that. They're talking about anti-establishment, which is the Trump administration. But before we get to that part of it, they're talking about there's a rift between the NFL owners and about the selection of Bad Bunny as the halftime entertainment.
Why they got a problem with Bad Bunny, Ralph?
Because they say his family values and what he's promoting is not of what they want to promote.
They want what they want to promote. What are his family values, Ralph?
So now I don't know exactly what his family values are, but what I understand is that he is promoting the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
And of course, the NFL had a whole month for that during the season. And you had a number of teams, they tried to force to do it, but a number of teams stood down and said, we don't want to wear the patch on our shoulder. We want football to be football, and we're going to allow football to take place on the field. We're not taking a political stance. Gee, I need to know, now that you're hearing this, I don't know if anybody else heard this. Let's see in the comments. Nobody's talking about this, but it will be a alternate halftime show. So, G, what's your thoughts about this alternate halftime show and how it's family versus the LGBT community? What's your thoughts on that? That's what it's billed as. What I'm looking at.
It's almost like when Miami and Notre Dame played years ago, when they called it the Catholics versus the convicts.
Yep.
And so here we are, the promotion, and we understand this, and this is not anti anything. Let's get this understood. But we understand there's been a promotion and an influence in from a certain population in this community, and for whatever reason, I ain't tripping. What I'm telling you is this: there's a portion of this country who is saying we're not with it under any circumstances.
Yes, sir.
So you haven't heard of any halftime show. We remember Janet Jackson with the supposedly mistakenly her wardrobe malfunction. We saw Prince. We've seen a lot of things going on, but we've never heard of somebody saying, you know what, y'all gonna be able to tune in over here.
This is what I'm saying, G.
We gonna tune in. Y'all tune in over here because you don't want to see this over this way. So I think at some point, America has to look at itself too.
Of course.
Now we can say whatever we want to. America has to look at itself and say, well, all right, what are we doing? And a lot of people have a big problem. And I can understand when you talk about the Republican Party, and we ain't going into politics right now, but you got to touch on it. the fact that some of these things that are being done, it's almost like they're throwing it at our children. They're saying, no, you got to take it. And we're throwing at these families and say, you got to take it. So I think the Bad Bunny, and you realize what Bad Bunny's getting paid?
No, I don't know. Is he getting paid? Because typically in years past, they claim that the halftime performers do not receive any type of cash compensation, but they say because of how many people be watching, they will be able to turn those views in that stage into some type of monetary value down the line.
The cost of previous halftime show performances,
the cost of it,
reportedly range from $10 to $20 million.
Yes.
If we don't think that Bad Bunny is going to feel like a good bunny after this show, then we're kidding ourselves. So, they're throwing a lot of money out here, and I don't think it's an accident. I don't think Bad Bunny was chosen just by they put his name out of a hat. And I think,
but it's Bunny, so
yeah,
it's kind of like
a
magician. And
I don't know. I don't even know if you could call me Bunny anything. But it's just that's another story. So I think this situation is conjuring up and is added to the stirring of the pot for this situation, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this halftime show is going to be received tonight.
No, I'm
going to tune in because I want to pay attention.
But see,
to what everybody's saying.
Here's what I was thinking. I want to see the other halftime show, because if you watching Bad Bunnies, then you can, if you believe that, like you're saying, if your family values is not of such the Rainbow Coalition, and that's fine, because that's not mine either. But to the point is, if you watching the show, are you condoning it? You know what I mean? So will I change the channel? Well, if I'm at my
what makes us so sure that Bad Bunny? See, this is the thing. Now let's talk about it.
Go ahead. This is a great one. Go ahead.
What makes us say that this is what he's going to be promoting? What's going on with Bad Bunny? And again, the first time I heard Bad Bunny, I said, well, who was that? And I did my research.
Yeah, I thought Bad Bunny was a lady.
I thought Bad Bunny was a lady. It was almost like the first time I heard Switch. When I heard Switch, I said, "Oh, that's got to be a lady." Until I saw him sing, I said, "Oh, my man just could go. He could sing. They could sing."
I don't even know who Switch is.
Switch is El DeBarge and them brothers. See, the DeBarge is Switch.
Oh, listen, I didn't know that. G, I was today years old. Switch, I had never heard that.
Man, what?
No, I didn't. I'm not gonna make it up.
Hey, man, listen. So, Rav, it's crazy. I'm gonna have you play the song. You won't even realize the songs. You didn't even realize it was Switch. We talking about when you and I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
Before DeBarge came out, Switch was singing. And as they were singing their songs, you heard the high pitch. There was no videos. You thought it was a lady. Thought it was a lady.
Okay.
Now, my man could go. DeBarge.
Yeah.
The older DeBarge brother, man.
Okay.
Died, HIV, the whole nine. But so as I heard Bad Bunny, I'm thinking like, okay. Then I started hearing some rumblings. I'm thinking like, well, what's wrong with everybody? What's with Bad Bunny? I mean, I ain't.
What's up with Bad Bunny?
Oh, Lord. I looked up. I said, hey, wait a second here. Bad Bunny was a dude.
Yeah.
So I knew then. I said, oh, okay. I see why everybody's feathers are being ruffled. And I knew there was a certain population that was going to say, hey, you know what are we doing? And I am just interested to see what Bad Bunny is going to sing and, how. And if Bad Bunny comes out, from a wardrobe perspective.
Okay.
If he comes out there with something, other than, a nice suit on or some pants or something, I'm going to be wondering what's going on.
Well, I'm hoping that's not true, but from the talks on the internet and the speculation, and then of course how he is viewing the current administration, and we're going to get into that. I heard you say, well, we don't want to get into politics, but our hashtag line is people, politics, community, and culture. And we're going to talk about how it all intersect with sports in today's time, and especially on this Super Sunday. So let me ask you this, G.
Sir.
as much as we love the NFL, who is your favorite quarterback that you would say was your guy and you loved him to the end? Because, man, you had a bet about this year's ago. I already know who.
Yeah, you know where I'm going. The one thing I said it earlier for you, I think, so everybody, y'all got to understand. And, I told my team the other day, Mike Talley came down in my locker room the other day after the game Friday, got a chance to see a dude that looked like his backcourt mate, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling the guys, like, man, the brotherhood that you guys have now, you may not think it's as significant as it really is.
Yes, sir.
But you guys going to be in each other's wedding. And, so for you and our first bet, Elway,
my guy,
was your guy. And again, my father, man, like your old dude, Black Panther. And so I ain't know nothing else. Doug Williams in the Super Bowl.
Doug Williams in the Super
Bowl, man. We 14, 15 years old. And I'm looking at Washington. I'm watching them. And I'm saying, man, you know what? Me and Rav got a bet. He going with his Broncos, Elway Young and all this. He doing his thing, sling that thing and throw it, hell of an arm. He love the Broncos, Orange Crush. I'm saying, man, Washington going to win this thing. And no cell phones at the time. So when I'm calling my boy, he ain't answering. After a while, he ain't in answering the line. Doug Williams going crazy on him. So I think for us, the significance of that game, and I think you obviously, we talked about it obviously over the years, you agree with that, is it was really monumental for us. And
1988 was that Super Bowl.
No, that was earlier than that.
I thought that was 88 that he won the Super Bowl. I thought I looked that up.
Look it up. Was it? I think it probably, was it 85, 86? I think we were younger. I think we were younger.
I thought, man,
because we probably would have been watching it together. So I think we were younger.
Right. It was before then. It might have been 86.
Yeah. And so now looking at, I think one of my favorite times, and every time the Super Bowl comes up, me and my sons talk about, I said, man, your Uncle Rav always going with, he had his squad. Just watching Doug win this thing and seeing all the guys that won the MVP going to Disney World.
Yeah.
And I remember he didn't get to say he was going to Disney World or something.
Oh, gee. That's you hitting on another point.
He didn't get to say he was going to
listen
Disney
to
World.
me, G. So this is where I want to go. We're talking about the Super Bowl. It's Super Sunday. But the very things that we love about Super Bowl Sunday and love about the NFL are some of the very same things that we do understand.
Talk about
how our community intersects with politics.
Yeah.
And I think it will be an injustice if we didn't talk about this. So we're going to talk about the NFL from this standpoint. You had 7 vacancies this year.
Wow.
Not a single black hire happened this season. Not a single black hire happened this season.
Okay.
And when they asked the commissioner, he said, we're going to have to look at the Rooney Rule. So to the people, see,
what did he say, Ralph?
We're going to have to look at the Rooney Rule and see what's going on. Well, to the people so we can understand. The Rooney Rule has been in place for a long time. Yep. And if you don't know about the Rooney Rule, what it says is that NFL teams must interview a black coach. Now, of course, it's based upon the credentials if they're going to hire them, but they say they must interview a black coach.
Wow.
Well, when you think about that, so that's a rule, some bylaws.
I never liked that rule either.
But put it in place.
Yeah.
Well, would that rule be similar to? Would it be similar to affirmative action? Could it be similar to, we would say, hey, integration? These are rules that have been put in place. But those rules don't mean anything when they don't put us in the forefront and we don't have a real opportunity. Yep. So again, everything that I love about the NFL on Super Sunday, I also can see that there is some form, I'm going to say, I'm going to use the word hatred towards the black man.
Yes.
G, you said you remember from when we were young guys
You
in
talking
the
about
80s.
You talking about almost 40 years ago.
Doug Williams didn't get a chance to say,
I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World. That was a staple when you
talking
won and you're the MVP.
Did it Jerry Rice too.
So another brother that
Yep.
they did it too. So everything that we love about the NFL is things that we also hate.
What you can love about somebody is what you can hate about them.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody
And
that.
So we must add to this the intersection of what has happened with President Trump and the administration
Yep.
in this photo that they put out
Oh man.
for the Obamas, depicting them as
We was gonna talk about it.
monkeys.
Apes,
monkeys, all the same
gorillas,
thing.
whatever.
It's all the same. Well, there, of course, is an uproar, and rightfully so, by everybody who is of color. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two, because of the symbolism of it.
Yep.
The tropes that happen. All these things that take place. And they actually retweeted this out. And then they didn't have the heart to say, man, you know what?
My bad.
Man, this was wrong. We apologize. This shouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Regardless, they're trying to say was
his person.
Assistant. It doesn't make a difference, because if your assistant coach had a hit,
man, say it again.
They would have been looking at you.
Yes.
And I'm saying this to say all the list. Now we have two things that we cannot look away from.
Talk about it.
We cannot look away from the fact of what President Trump and this team has tweeted out. And if we're looking at it as that is racist, which that is rightful based upon what was done. We know how hurtful it is to the community. Well, gee, when we look at that phase of it, this very Sunday that we're watching the Super Bowl, Super Sunday, in our face in plain sight.
Oh, man.
In our face in plain sight.
In your face.
I'm going to do like my brother man from the fifth floor. 7.
Yeah.
7 coaches.
Yeah. And nobody
were black. I think now it is absolutely, to me, we can't stand on one side of the fence and call one thing being racist without looking at the other side. And we're celebrating in today's festivities. We're talking about Super Bowl, Super Sunday, the NFL. I was thinking maybe we should boycott.
Don't watch this.
Super Bowl, not watch.
Excuse my mouth if my auntie watches.
I'm just saying.
Don't watch the motherfucker.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, because when you think about it, G, if we don't watch the Super Bowl,
damn.
Like, I'm sure that if when you left here, you say, Rap, come on to the crib.
Yeah.
Old lady got some food and everything.
Yeah.
At least we on our way.
We on our way.
We don't have to watch the Super Bowl.
No, we can cut on some Marvin Gaye, just kick it, talk about some shit. No, what you mean?
Cut on some videos.
Because what you talking about?
And just kick it and talk about how we need to come together as a community and not look at one side as worse than the other, because, and this leads into our other show. Man, when we do this other show next week.
Talk about it.
It is outstanding. I'm a poster, put up the flyer, but Dr. DeGrew talks about, and Joyce DeGrew, she says it best. She said, you cannot, as a black person in America and white America who may have stuck a knife in your 9 inches, and then they pulled it out 3 or 6 inches. Well, it's still in me.
It's still in me.
And she said, even if you pull it out, I must have time to heal.
I got to have time to heal.
And then just because you put some laws in place, it's outstanding. Just because you put some laws in place doesn't mean I still have to accept you for what you've done.
Cut it out.
She said, if you do, it cannot be any repair
None.
if there's no injustice being served.
Yes.
And now when you think about it, looking at everything that's going on with the Trump administration, with Obama and his wife, you don't say you sorry. You don't apologize. But then let's talk about Super Sunday in NFL.
We're going,
You telling me they have not, you have not heard it on any.
Nobody's talked about it.
And it was one little clip from the commissioner, and he said, well, we have to look at that. You don't have to look at
nothing.
Look
at nothing. You see it. It's in plain sight.
It's just like the people of Congress of color and from Democrat and Republican that will say, well, reparations, we got to look at it and we got to study. You don't have to look at it and study
nothing.
You know
what
what's
happened.
going on.
You know
exactly what happened. Gee, I'm just fired up about this.
No, that's real.
It is so important for us not to get blinded by one side or the other and understand we have multiple people that we know who have benefited, who are going to benefit from the NFL. But just because I love you don't mean I can't criticize you. And I must criticize you for what you doing to the black man. And I don't even want to get into how when the black man leaves the NFL, how hurt they are and broke down they are.
You better not.
So it's just a whole thing, G.
You better not.
And I'm just really disappointed. I take that back. I'm not disappointed in the NFL because the expectations of the NFL are what they are. But I know I'm only disappointed for the people that's disappointed in the NFL, but they will not even acknowledge that the NFL is wrong because they love them too much.
Rav, you got to understand something. And this is who we become. And the psychological warfare has been amazing. And, forever the oppressor has been strategic. Mm-hmm. And he's thought 50, 60 years down the road. Mm-hmm. And I think for us, the hard part, you talk about edutainment, and we've talked about this forever. And that's how you came up with this. You said, gee, we got to do a podcast. And we understood the foundation of it. Mm-hmm. I think it's difficult for us because we see things, as you just said, in plain sight. And we want people to see it.
Yes.
We want people to, you don't have to publicly acknowledge it. I don't expect everyone to have the voice that we have or even have the passion. Mm-hmm. But at least internally with your family, you can do certain things. And I think it's tough because there's not enough of an uproar about this. And I'm telling you, is really crazy for me. And in the midst of all of this, we're talking about, you're talking about somebody's family. You ain't just talk about a man. And there's certain things we always talked about. Mm-hmm. There are certain things that I learned growing up. Certain things you and I knew. My man's lady is off limits.
Yeah, for sure.
My man's children, they're off limits.
Yes, sir.
And for someone and it's crazy that you just said that. We have my niece Ashley, man, played at University of Cincinnati. She's like a niece to me. She handles Martin Luther King's social media account.
Okay.
And I send her things, say, okay, post this, do this, and this is what I want you to do on the flyer, whatever. And sometimes she does some things independently. But she always knows, like, Unc, here, I'm going to send you this. But she always knows, like, you know what? He wouldn't approve of this.
So then she basically, you and her have a relationship.
What you talking about?
And nothing is going out.
What you talking about?
So I'm not going to accept from the Donald Trump's administration that they didn't know.
They, listen, and here's the crazy thing about it, Ralph. If someone can say, here's the thing. Even if you didn't know. See, this is the crazy thing about it. I know just about every Peterson there is in the last 2, 3, 4 generations. The one thing that I do know, before they say Rav said or Uncle Rav did this, before they put something out and have your name attached to it, it better be right.
It better be confirmed.
No, they not going. And you ain't the president of the United States.
No, sir.
You're the president of this house. Mm-hmm. But they know. Man, you bet. If I go on here and post a picture of some foolishness and say, it's Raphael Peterson, they're going to say, somebody going to tell them, you better not do that. It's going to be hell to pay. And so when I look at everything and I saw what occurred, and I said, damn, they really did that. Initially, I thought it was a joke. I swear, I said, this can't. Nobody's this.
No, well, even if it's, think about it, even
There
if
you
it's
go.
a joke, you crossed the line.
You done crossed the line.
And I'm thinking this. I'm going to give this out as to President Trump that I'm sure next week that he is going to apologize.
Yeah, you got to.
Next week, I think he's going to apologize if it doesn't come today. I'm almost sure he's going to apologize. But, G, I want you to intersect what that is, because that is racially motivated.
Totally.
It brings up so many things. How does that, and what I was speaking about in terms of the NFL, how do you see the NFL when they hire 7 guys,
all of European descent,
and one of the coaches, you think about John Harbaugh, he was fired. He was pretty much hired. He already knew he was going to New York.
Yeah.
We already know there was backdoor conversations.
Absolutely.
Just like it was backdoor conversations with the brother that was on the New England staff who ended up down in Miami. And then he was, I can't think of his name.
Nah, I'm looking at him right now.
But
God,
he ended up talking to Bill Belichick before the interview. Bill was just talking. He said, so what you doing this weekend? He said, I'm going for the interview. He said, no, they already hired somebody. He said, no, they ain't hiring nobody. He said, no, I'm absolutely
I'm telling
sure
you right now.
they hired somebody.
Flores.
Brian
Flores.
That's why he has a suit against the NFL.
That's why he got a lawsuit against the NFL.
But when you think about that.
Ooh, that's got to be a show, Ralph.
That's behind the scenes. And we're going to do a show.
Post Super Bowl.
Think about
it.
We
got to talk about
this.
We're
going to talk about it because we have a few brothers that's going to come on the show that want to talk about the black quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Brother Ron Rice put together this, introduced me to Brother Mill Coleman, and we're working on that show.
Harmon Hills Harrison, legend.
Yes, sir. And our boy, the other guy who was at Cash Tech, you know, the big fella, your man's light-skinned brother.
Jay Root? No, not Jay.
No, the coach. Oh, you know I'm talking about. He went to McKenzie. I think I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, they want to come on, and we're going to put that show together to talk about this, and we can further dive into the black quarterback because, as you know,
we got to talk about it.
Your boy is going to be out of Martin Luther King's probably going to be the #1 pick next year in the
next year
draft. But that has nothing to do with they'll draft us.
Oh, yeah.
They'll let us tackle. They'll let us run. They'll let us throw.
As long as we entertain the people.
As long as we entertain it.
As long as we entertain the people.
How come we cannot become the head coaches and get more opportunity?
Ralph, they recycle. Even in the NBA.
Recycle.
And it's crazy. I'm even thinking about the title of it, the coaching carousel.
Yeah.
You know, how they just recycle these coaches. And you got all these brothers doing great things. And they have to do so well to get hired. And then their leash is so short. So I think the craziest thing about it is oftentimes we ignore that and we don't realize what's going on with it. But I think the one thing that we got to do before we come to a close today, I think we got to celebrate the thing that for us, you know, you look at the officiating crew today.
Yes, I'm with you, G. Absolutely.
You know,
what you mean? None other than Sean Smith.
Sean Smith, Detroit Cody High.
Now listen to me. So this
Fair State University.
I'm glad you did this because it's a perfect transition.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we love about the NFL, we
have
the right to criticize, but I know for a fact they gave a lot of guys opportunities. And I want to play this because, G, I downloaded some videos, and I want you to see the different brothers who been impacted by the NFL in a
positive way.
manner.
Yep.
In a positive manner. Check this out.
Run it loud. Yeah. What's up, baby? Hey, Rod. Thanks, brother. Welcome to the 2026 Hall of Fame, bro. Badass.
2026, baby. Hey, and you know what? You going in at your house that you built in San Francisco. Huh? It's here. It's your house, baby. It's your house. Hey.
And I want to show another one really, really quick.
Oh, man. You know what, boy? There's just so many memories flooding my mind. Yeah, you know, being out there training camp and just watching you guys and hoping one day just to have the opportunity to do it. Like, just the opportunity, never to imagine, you know, to have a career that was worthy of you know, being immortalized in the history of the game.
So, and this is what I wanted to do, G, when you mentioned the positive aspects. When I saw the Roger Craig one last night, I said, we have to have it on the show. And it was because it was black men celebrating black men. And it was just touching. And then Larry Fitzgerald and my man Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy Moss.
So these are the type of brothers that have been afforded opportunities by the pro football and the NFL. But we cannot stop and only look at one side and say, well, they've done some great things, but we can't criticize them because they gave those brothers opportunity. That's true. But we also have to be strong enough and courageous enough to say, NFL, we love the things you're doing.
Yes, we do.
But you're not doing enough.
No.
And so as a total unit, community and culture, we cannot allow Donald Trump to slide.
No.
We cannot allow the NFL to slide.
The owners.
We cannot allow politicians to slide.
Absolutely.
We cannot allow anybody that will not do right by
us,
the culture, black people. I'm talking about anybody. We must hold them accountable.
Even black people.
Even black people, because we have black people that's been put in positions that have not lived up to the bill. And then some people will say, well, they did it. That is true. I've caught myself saying that a few times. But you also have to understand, you have to be accountable and responsible for your actions. Indeed. I don't care what nobody else did. I don't care what nobody else did around the corner. I don't care that somebody received contracts and they stole money. I want to get the contracts, brother, but I don't want to steal. I'm going to do the work. See, that's the thing. But I think that's where this whole intersection of sports and community and politics intersect. But G, I know you got something because you got your glasses on, so I know you're going right now.
My man always want to say something clever about the nice glasses.
Yeah, he
tried not to acknowledge it. Here's the thing, though, that's crazy for me. Those very men that we talked about that were afforded those opportunities.
Yes, sir.
Rap is like,
don't say it.
It's like slavery was concerned. It's like so many things that we look at. Those owners benefited more from those players and their presence than a player did.
Oh, absolutely.
They made more money off the backs of those individuals. So yeah, you went to the Hall of Fame. And again, that's a great acknowledgement. We're not saying that things haven't progressed a little bit. But the one thing that I do know and I do understand, when you look at it, you got to say, wait a minute now. What about the brother over here that wasn't Randy Moss?
Yes.
See, they're so quick to get you.
Yes.
See, you got to be excellent. You have to be excellent
to get to the Hall.
What are you talking about?
So that you're talking about the brothers that were on the team that didn't get the fanfare, who had great impact, but you were talking about the brotherhood to your team when Mike Talley came in your locker room.
Yep.
And so those guys on NFL teams who were not so good, they were there. They good to us, but they were on the teams, but they were not a Randy Moss, or Roger Craig.
You better understand it.
Or Larry Fitzgerald. None of those things. But you're talking about that brotherhood and being there for one another. So we have to do a better job with that, obviously. But go ahead and finish your thoughts about where you was going with those guys and the opportunities that the NFL afforded them. But the NFL owners benefited more from being around those athletes.
Yes.
But you said it's a forgotten group of guys who people don't see. But go ahead, G. I don't want to
think about it. You think about it. I know where I am right now. You look at we can go real close to home. The Rice family. We happen to know a good brother, Ron Rice, man. And you see some of those guys that were amazing, outstanding pros.
Yes, sir.
But what have you done? Fortunately for the Rice family, they didn't raise an idiot. They didn't raise a dummy. They didn't raise a football player. They raised a great man who happened to be talented in football.
Yes, sir.
But what about some of these other guys who've been used and abused and their bodies have been used up?
Yes, sir.
And they gave their lives to their families and to the NFL. Those are the forgotten ones. And the one thing that I realized when you look at those guys in the Hall of Fame, and the NFL has done some things for concussion protocol and all that, but the harsh reality of it is when you look at some of these guys who have given everything to the NFL and these brothers are forgotten about, what are we doing? How is it that those guys don't have coach? You see so many coaches on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry for interjecting.
Oh, you didn't. Go ahead.
But so I listened to a commentator the other day said, this is not about race. This is about this is not about race. This is about the McVay and the tree. And maybe I only caught a bits and pieces of it. I think it was my man, Ryan Clark. I'm almost sure it was Ryan Clark who said this. And he said that it was the coaching tree that all these guys came out of. And so that's why they're being afforded the opportunities. Well, I'm going to go on a limb and say that's exactly what he said. But the problem is when the brother get the job, he does not have the opportunity to hire
not at
all black staff.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
So then they will not be able to develop a coaching tree.
No.
And as soon as you mess up, you're gone.
You're out of there.
Here's a perfect example. I picked the New England Patriots today.
Yep.
People forget that Vrabel was a coach at Tennessee Titans. Gerard Mayo was the coach over in New England. They fired him and hired Vrabel.
Absolutely.
Now, wait a minute now. My man ain't got a fair shake now.
No. But hold on. Where's Jared Mayo now?
I don't know.
Is he a coordinator somewhere?
No, well, probably not.
So you go from being a head guy. See, a lot of these guys.
Look it up. Go ahead, Jim.
Vrabel go from being a head guy, and Vrabel a hell of a coach. I ain't saying that. But these guys go from losing. They get another head coaching job. The brother gets the head coaching job, and then guess what? He's gone. We don't hear nothing else from him. We don't get the 2-3 opportunities unless we are just totally great.
Oh, and they said, according to the internet, that Gerard Mayo retired and transitioned into the business world and is working for a healthcare company in the financial services.
No,
I'm just no. Unless the internet is wrong, it's been known to be wrong. But
no, they didn't lie.
That they would have said, no, he's coaching somewhere. Let me just double check this, G, before we go in. Where's Mayo coaching? I want to see.
Where's Matt Patricia?
Listen, shoot, he's somewhere. It don't look like Gerard Mayo is coaching anywhere.
Gerard Mayo is not coaching in the NFL.
And he was a head coach, and they say he's in the healthcare
last year.
This is unfortunate, but this is where we have to be critical and critique those that we love, because the NFL is doing black people a disservice in terms of the coaching ranks. We're not going to even talk about ownership. That's not even play. No. But we're just talking about the coaching ranks. 7 vacancies, no black hires. It's shameful. NFL, But Black folk, we got to do better. It's the best time in history, regardless of what we're thinking, regardless of how bad it is. In the words of Dr. Joyce DeGruy, she said, we've done more with less back then when we stood on our own 2 feet. I'm just saying what the sister said. I was checking her out. She said, everybody is afraid now, but she said, we did more with less back then. I'm just telling you.
She didn't lie.
She didn't lie. And it's great. But anyway, G, when we gonna be back in the basin? When we want to come back and we're gonna do a series. We're gonna not a series, but we're gonna talk about. Let's see.
Well, we got to talk about. You and I talked about it. I got somebody lined up. I don't want to. We pretty much got confirmation, but we're gonna talk about the high school NIL.
And
again,
talk about that for sure.
But I think what you just mentioned, we have to discuss. Some of the hiring practices and some of the things that have been going on in the NFL and the NBA. I think the NBA is a little more progressive. And you like to see that because there are a lot more people of color. There are a lot of people of color in leadership positions. But I think there's something that has to be done, has to be talked about. So, and we got to talk about ICE in our communities.
That's where I'm going. I'm trying to get the flyer now.
We have got to talk about ICE in our communities. And as you know, Aunt Hurdy, who loves you to death, down in Memphis, man. And, ICE has been down there. And, they kind of stepped away for a minute, but it looks like some of the federal agents are going back. I got some inside information on that. And, we're going to have a discussion about that and how we feel about it. And I think the discussion has to be kind of centered around, Rav. This is the crazy part about it. A lot of us have been totally against it. And I'm going to just say, I want us to think about it. If you got to bring somebody else in to bring control into your community, it suggests that you don't have control of your community. And we got to talk about that. So those are some of the things we're going to talk about. And we're going to keep coming back, y'all. And I think we need to pay attention. Call your friends. Go to YouTube, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to us, because we got some things that we want to discuss. And the things that we want to discuss, the things that we need to discuss, you need to be discussing, and we need to think about it.
But I think that's one of the things that we in our community, there's an issue with discussion if you from a different side.
Yeah.
And we are absolutely looking at things as if one side is better than the other.
Yeah.
And far as I'm concerned, I see it differently. There has been different stages and different tactics of racism, oppression, and things that's being done. But this is the show that we're going to come back and talk about in a few, and just probably there's symbolism. So when you think about the symbol of integration, ICE deporting immigrants, Black history hidden in plain sight, I think it's going to be an eye-opening thing that I'm not so sure.
Yeah, we got to really.
That a lot of people know about, but the Statue of Liberty is not what we've been told.
The
Statue of Liberty has not been what we've been told, and it's going to be some great insight. We're going to talk and just talk about that. And of course, ICE, that's where it all came from.
That's right.
When you and I was talking, we were talking about the deporting of immigrants from out of communities, and the Statue of Freedom is what it appears.
It's supposed to be. Yeah.
But we've been taught differently, and it's going to change the perspective when you hear Dr. Joyce DeGruy talk about this. It's amazing. I have some clips from her, but we're going to do that very, very soon, and this week it'll be coming out.
Absolutely, this week.
And then we're going to do that NIL about Michigan. So any last thoughts, G?
No, I think the biggest thing is for us now, and I think it's something that we can close with every week, is I think as we watching what's going on in our country, as we watching what's going on with our young people, and I think that's something that we've talked about for years, I think we need to do a better job of being the authority figures in our community. I see so many young people that's kind of just, we see so many things going on with our young people, and we keep saying, man, I would never do that. That wouldn't happen to me. My mother wouldn't have let that happen. My daddy wouldn't have let that happen. Well, we have to do a better job. And I want the folks to understand, let's have a good time tonight, but let's refocus our energy and our mentality to the future of our community and the future of our families, because that's what everybody else is doing.
Oh, for sure. But I think we want to do this. This is going out to anybody who's listening. We want to start projecting our Black men in a positive light. I know how you just said that a number of people are not doing a good job raising our kids. Well, let's do this. Let's do the opposite, because we've been saying this as long as we've been doing this podcast.
Let's talk about the people that's doing a great job.
We've been saying the same thing, and it hasn't changed. So let's do this. People out there, if you're listening, any brother that you want,
celebrate them.
To celebrate, send his name, flyer, a name, a picture, and we want to start doing this every week. You can send it to
that's a great point.
State Champions Podcast 88 at Gmail. State Champions Podcast 88 at Gmail. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the comments right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it in here now. It's State Champions Podcast 88 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And this is where you send the information. Any brother you wanna honor who's doing great things in the community.
Yes, sir.
It could be in one of your hometown, and you just moved to Detroit.
Yes.
We don't care where they're from.
Don't care where they're from.
They could be from St. Louis. They could be from Memphis.
Sure enough.
We want Detroiters for sure, but we want any brother that's doing positive things for our community.
Definitely.
And so we can start highlighting.
Man, that's a great
everything that we're doing.
It's a great point.
And then now people can say, well, man, we hear so much positivity on the show. Listen, skip it, because we know what's not happening. We're not blind to what's not happening. Let's talk about what is in the positive aspect. I think we got to get out of here. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Willie Rogers, chill. Hey, as my man Ralph, super big wheel, man, because you a super dude. Bingo Bates, man. Happy born day to your grandson, man. What a blessing. Proud of you, fam. Y'all be safe out there.
And man, listen, again, it's Super Bowl Sunday. And I listen, we should go on and protest. Hey. Yeah. But what happened to somebody get me on a video and they behind me and they see me watching the game?
Yeah, you can't even, man.
But we have to come up with another strategy, but this will be great. It's a little late in the game. But we have to do something, because we cannot put up with racism in any fashion, any industry, anytime, anywhere, any level.
Damn right.
Whether it's the White House, to the football field, at the schoolyard, it doesn't make a difference.
Any and everywhere.
Any and everywhere.
An injustice to one of us, it's an injustice to us all, brother.
My man, G-Man, we out of here. Peace. We'll see y'all next time.
The champ is here!